Hello, it's Wayne McCullum, the Regional Biodiversity Coordinator for Canterbury. I'm now at the top of the Hunter Hills. I'm looking out across Waimate. I'm up here with Rob Smith from the QE2 Trust. We're just looking at some of the bush remnants here which QE2 are involved with. Rob is going to give you a little bit of story about the significance of these remnants from a biodiversity perspective, some of their biodiversity values, and some of the processes which are going on and what QE2 are doing in collaboration with the landowners. Rob, over to you.
Well, thanks, Wayne. What you see here behind me is these are remnants of what was a very extensive native forest that used to stretch right down to the plains. It used to go all down through the foothills, and it used to go down to roundabout where you see some very dark green paddocks. So almost all the way out through there, and then you'd see some of the towers that you see over there. The forest used to basically go all the way over there. These remnants here, you're looking at a block here around about 16 hectares behind you. They're very important. They're the last remnants that we've actually got in this area of some podocarps and undergrowth and there's lizards and insects and fungi there that have been going on for hundreds and hundreds of years. So without private people coming along deciding to covenant their land, which the covenant is where it goes on for perpetuity, this will stay here forever. You might see behind us at the top, you'll see that there's been some felling. That's not native tree felling. What that is up there is some radiata that's been felled, and if you look, they've done it pretty carefully. They've taken out the radiata and left the native bush. And that's probably what's going to happen again and again and again, and all the time the native bush will be left.
So radiata is an introduced plantation tree?
Yeah, it's an introduced plantation tree that's grown for its timber or its pulp values, and as you can see there's quite a bit through here, and it's a commercial crop. And so what they do is they put aside bits of lands that are pretty steep, not much good for farmland, put in radiata and then crop it.
Now the Hunter Hills, Rob, are famous for the wallaby, which are introduced and are a bit of a pest. What are the challenges that the wallaby pose to us here?
Well, as we look at wallabies are a little kangaroo about that high, and they bounce around. They bounce actually quite high. They can bounce up to about 6 feet high. And when
that's high.
Yeah, well, what happens? Unfortunately, we don't make fences 6 feet high, so they'll clear the fences. They'll go into the bush and they'll leap through the undergrowth. So, unless we can control wallabies, we can't actually get regeneration happening from the forest floor up. So, if we've got high wallaby numbers, what we're looking for in forests is actually a dead forest. Those forests will actually stay like that until eventually the canopy dies back, because there's no undergrowth coming through because of high wallaby populations. So we need to get rid of them.
So the zombie forest, living dead.
Yes, yeah, I suppose.
And controlling wallaby, what are some of the options there?
Well, there's been some work done on poison drops, although there hasn't been that successful. But the main one that we use around here is extensive shooting and drives. So you get lots of people together and you try and get big drives.
And could you eat the wallabies?
If you're game. It's not called a game meat for nothing.
And you have some recipes?
Yes, they involve basically lots of tenderising, using the stone and eating the stone afterwards, yeah. Yes.
So there you go, some of the biodiversity of the Waimate district and maybe some options for food. Back to you shortly. Bye now.